Another question being about narcissists pulling away or able to feel when you're pulling away is the energetic exchange that they can feel dissipate or disappearing. A lot of times people put a lot of energy into these situations with narcissists, and so do they. Right in the beginning, you know how it is. They're consuming your time. You're doing stuff and talking almost every day, so you're speeding up the process of bonding, at least, because the more time you spend with someone, the more you're around them, the more you're talking to them, etc. The more the quicker the familiarity is going to build, which is going to give a heightened sense of feeling bonded to one another. Well, that energy and everything that's taking place, the narcissist is basically feeding off that, and they're getting used to that. You put out a whole lot of energy, believe it or not, when you're dealing with them. You're putting out so much energy that it's, which they call fuel. This is the whole thing about narcissistic fuel. It's nothing but energy. So that energy that you're putting out is extremely powerful. Many of you may discredit the things that you've done and how much of an effect that it had on them, but it did. And when these situations start to go awry, when a narcissist starts to feel any change in your behavior and your responses to them, they begin not to, they feel uncomfortable, put it that way. They won't immediately break away from you or break away from the connection just because you started to have some distasteful moments with them that you may have expressed, or you may have started getting into the arguments and all that. Believe it or not, the narcissist actually likes that. That's still fuel. That's still energy you're giving. When you're mad and you're yelling at them and you're upset with them and you're you know, disappointed by them, all of that is energy fuel that the narcissist is able to pick up on, that the connection between the two of you is still alive and thriving. All right. So what happens when you begin to get indifferent to the narcissist, where you start feeling like the thrill starts wearing off? You know, you're no longer really engaging in the long drawn out arguments. You're no longer trying to prove a point to the narcissist. And this could be for even regular situations. I guess I need to start saying that too, because this happens just amongst regular people. But when you're no longer indulging in the long drawn out back and forth arguments, when you're no longer trying to make your point on something, when you're just like, oh, well, let it go, I don't care. That's the first red flag to the narcissist, that that fuel that they used to get from you, whether it be positive or negative, is no longer the same. Right. And so the narcissist does try to make attempts to re-establish, that amount of energy out of you again by, either they'll try to behave in a certain way for a length of time, or they will really kick up some heated, intense arguments, like where they're hitting below the belt with you, because they want to see just how much do you still care. Do they still have their same amount of supply ready and available to them? So they may start a really nasty argument with you, to get you to break that position that you're holding on being the bigger person or being indifferent in general. They want to break that because they believe, okay, if you're holding this position, you're trying to punish them. And if you break at any point where some of you, a lot of you have given in, that's going to get you punished. You're better off just leaving and not giving them a second chance to make up or anything at that point, because giving in and trying to compromise for a normal person, that would suffice. That would be okay. But to a narcissist, you just showed that you were playing a game. You just showed that you were playing around, playing a game, and now you got to pay for that. Now you got to pay for making them go through something that they didn't have to go through in the first place, because that's how they're going to take it. They're not going to take it like, well, empathizing at least and understanding your position and point of view where you being frustrated and fed up. They're not going to take it that way. They're going to take it as you was playing a game with me. You try to pull a fast one over me, even though you could have been dead serious, ready to leave. You're fed up. You had enough. You had it up to wherever, and you're ready to leave, and it's just, it ain't working for you no more. The narcissist will still interpret that as you trying to punish them and playing a game with them. That's where it all starts with the nitpicking, and everything gets worse. Doing stuff deliberately to get you upset, to get you out of your zone, starts to get worse. It increases. A lot of the mind games start to kick up, into the you get either frustrated, fed up, and just can't take it anymore. So this is where you pull away. You may leave. You may have had enough and said, I can't do this anymore, and you're gone. Initially, they're not taking it serious because, remember, for the most part, you all did at some point really care about who you thought you were with, right? And you can't just shut that off just because you had a fallout with them. They know this, okay? They know that. And so when you're going through the back and forths and breaking the no contact, which many of you still do. I mean, if we could just keep it a buck, you still break that no count, which that's not the end of the world either if you do, right? But it's important to understand the end game, closing out, dealing with the narcissist and finalizing the whole, situation, if you will. When that kind of happens and you start to, you're going through the no contact, you're pulling away, the narcissist in their mind expects you to come back. So they're going to do their thing on the side until you get tired of them not being around you and come running back to them. That's what they expect. And when you don't, they can feel, especially if you're entertaining something that's making you happy or something that's making you content. They know. It's like it's an uncanny, like weird type of thing, but they can tell through your energy whether or not you're still in the same space. They can tell whether or not you're still longing for them, or if someone else has captivated your interests. They can tell these things. And they're able to, pop up at certain times that may just seem off, like it seems coincidental, but it's not. They know that you're doing something or that you're involved out and elsewhere outside of the energy field that they had you locked in. at one point. And when that happens, you'll get an all-out blitz from them trying to get back in, and it's only to disrupt what you are trying to build on. It's not to get back in and be anything significant to you or to adjust themselves. It's only to disrupt what you may potentially be building on, moving forward away from them. And they can sense it. They know it. They know it. They can tell, they can sense it. And yeah, when they feel it, they just know. Your mood, the way you are, the way you talk to them even has a different tone, has a different energy coming from it. And they know. At that point they're like, they're not the same. Something's going on. And they're able to pick up on that. And they can tell that, yeah, you've pulled away energetically. A lot of these things, energy is big. And for so long, you've wrapped your energy all up around them, and they've gotten to soak and bathe in all of your energy from your efforts and everything. And it was good. Well, the intensity that you was given, once that falls off, it's instantly noticed. It's noticeable. And that goes for any, like, even regular couples, people. You can always tell when things are going awry, when things are going bad, at least. When the energy, what was that song? The thrill is gone. You can tell when it's gone, when it's no longer there. And the narcissist can tell too, because you're not the same. You are different. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's good that they do feel that, so that you can start making the closure on the situation with them. They need to feel that disconnect, because the disconnect means that you are healing and moving on. All right. That's essentially what's going on. As long as you're still wounded and broken, you're going to have a certain degree of heavy energy still flowing out towards them that they can feel, that they can pick up on. So, yeah, that's just all I have to say for this video, man. Just giving you info on that energy and how they're able to sense and feel when you've moved away. Right. But for you, if you feel yourself thinking less and less about them, and it doesn't affect you to even think about the situation more and more, like you're able to just deal with it and just be like, man, that was crazy what I went through. And you don't have any, type of animosity or resentment towards it, then you're well on your way. You made it, and the healing process is, if not complete, it's pretty darn close to being complete. All right. Anyway, hit the like. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.